Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the video. Just finished building this masterpiece. This Welcome to the video. I'm going to take you step by step exactly how I built this insane Kaleidoscope Dining Table in less than 6 minutes. Let's get straight into the build. This is the recycled wood I'm going to be using for the rest of the project. Got the table saw out and started to chop up the wood into the correct lengths. Once they were all the same length, I cut them into 40mm strips. And once they were all the same width and length, I randomized the height of each cut. And now I have all these mini strips, but we're building a dining table, so I'm going to have to repeat this process a few more times. Once the first batch of all the strips were done, it was time to glue them up 3 by 3. Once they were all glued up, I flipped them a particular way and started to straighten the edges. Then I divided each piece in two like shown. Once all the pieces were cut, I added some extra pieces in and randomized the design. And then I glued all the strips together. Essentially, I was creating a board, but look at all these ugly glue marks left behind. So I took a lot of material off both sides so it would be a much cleaner look. Then proceeded to cut the edges off from both sides. Set the blade to a 30 degrees angle and cut along the board. Then I glued up all the 30 degree angled pieces together, cut off the edges again, and planed the material until it was completely flat. And once I got the board all nice and flat, I could cut horizontally through the design. This is the most satisfying part of creating this design. Now I can finally glue it all up together. And once I glued this masterpiece up, it's time to put it through the planer and make it flat. But if you look at the size of it, that doesn't look like the size of a table. So I had to repeat the process. You'll see me in the next part of this video doing the exact same thing for 2 more designs. The steps were to take the strips, glue them together, cut them at a 30 degree angle, glue them together again, and then cut horizontally through the design. This took hours and hours of work, days and days of cutting, gluing, splicing. I had the table saw running for so long, I was getting complaints from the neighbors. Finally finished all the 30 degree cuts for the 2 designs. I planed them and then got ready to cut through them horizontally. Look how flat I made these in seconds. This is me cutting through the 3rd design, finally about to get ready to actually make the table. And of course, after the 2nd and 3rd designs were done, I had to glue them together. Even after all those designs, the table still wasn't long enough, so I had to make it one big slab and repeat that long ass process one more time. And once that big slab was randomized, glued and planed, I started to chop through the design horizontally. Since the slab was so large, I ended up creating 2 different designs that were around the same size. Once all the designs were done, it was time to glue the table together. Here you can see me slowly gluing everything together piece by piece. I had to run a few of the designs on the table saw to keep them 90 degrees. And the next part of this video is me just cutting everything perfect, gluing it together, and creating the tabletop. As I was putting it all together, I would also sand the piece after every glue to ensure that it was perfectly flat. Bought these legs from Amazon. Now it was time to screw them onto the tabletop. Quite simple actually. You put 6 screw holes and then you screw the 6 bolts. I sanded it so much to ensure the top was perfect and make it as flat as it possibly could be. Then I've put the first coat on, sanded it after the first coat, put the second coat on, sanded it after the second coat, and then put the third coat on. Now, without further ado, I bring you the Kaleidoscope Dining Table. It took hours and hours of work, dedication for this dream to come true. This is only just the beginning. From this, I'm going to invest more into this hobby, have more ambitious projects, and I'm just so excited to show you what I'm going to make. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the outro. Thanks for making it.